So what's up? Maybe I should turn that down. That's probably a little loud. Who knows what else is loud since my ears are plugged as well. And I'm not using my fucking mic, so you're gonna be like, I can't hear you. Okay, so maybe I should fucking scream into the mic. So this is just gonna be real quick, hopefully, and I'm issuing a challenge to prove your skills are superior. It's it's a traditional kung fu method. We all spar one another. I mean, it's basically the only real sparring we ever get because we don't destroy our own people. So, I mean, it's just kung fu history. I know in Puss America, or whatever you want to call it, um, it's illegal to challenge people, but this is kung fu. No one gives a fuck about Puss America. So I'm issuing a sparring challenge to all the leaders of the alt right, especially the Redice and the GDL, James Allsup. I mean, Faith Goldie. I mean, just because you're taking estrogen now and you look like a woman, it doesn't mean you can't bring those manly abilities back into your life. I mean, whoever. Don't tell him, dude. Shh. Don't tell him. I mean, come on. I'm like small, dude. I mean, look how small I am. Yeah, I'm so small, dude. Look at those little wrists, dude. I can almost fit my fingers around that. And I'm disabled. I'm seriously disabled. I mean, you can't beat an old man who is disabled, tiny. I mean, what's up with that? So in the past, warriors have always led the people. And but I appreciate that still. Thanks for stopping by, man. So in the past, warriors have always led the people, and like generally, like that's where kings come from. Is they're not like people sitting around going, "Oh no, stop doing that! Stop hitting me! Stop hurting me! You guys gotta stop that." So I mean, where is the modern chivalry or whatever it's called when this used to happen? So I get tired of just exposing that these people are just all part of the same system, and you could just easily shut them down by showing that God has chosen you to be superior to them. The GDL for life, and which GDL though, OJM? OJM, do you support the original GDL that was created 4 or 5 years ago, or do you support GDL 2, Adams Green GDL, which he just created a year ago and he claims he invented completely? Okay, yeah. So, you know, I, I'm not sure about rules. We don't have rules in our fight style. But if you know boxing, maybe I can like do. I mean, seriously, I was trained pretty much to do boxing, and I mean because my teacher had dealt with martial artists so much, he knew in advance this stuff was going to happen. This whole kung fu sucks and everything else is better. So I believe he trained me specifically to work against boxers. Okay, let me finish the challenge and I'll get back into it. The challenge I could just finish up in a minute. I pretty much did already, but I issue the challenge, to all these alt right leaders. Let's spar. Let's show each other, who the true leader is. Who is capable of leading the people. You can show me your skills are superior to mine. You can show the world, not just me. You can show the world that you can do more than just talk about government worship in disguise of anti-government worship, and misleading the people. You can do whatever you want, but what you're going to do is you're going to ignore this because I've already issued this challenge on all of your pages, and no one wants to come through. And one person strictly said they're out of training. It's like, dude, I'm disabled. What do you mean you're out of training? Like, I'm mad out of training. I haven't uploaded a video in weeks because I'm killing myself by training. But let's put the issue out. Yeah, I'll get to that in a second. I'm not going to read that right now. I'm just going to finish the challenge. So to all these alt-right leaders, let's issue a sparring challenge. We can all prove whose technique is superior to the others. And, I'll go away. Once you defeat crippled, elderly me, I'll just go away. I'll stop telling people about all the lies you're telling them. I'll stop exposing you. I'll stop doing all that. We can do this wherever. Now, if you're going to bring advertisements into it and try to support some brand, all your money, any money you make relating to it, even in future videos, needs to go to some sort of charity. But I don't think you should be advertising anything. But a challenge comes out to the alt-righters, especially their leaders. Let's see who is the. I know what's going to happen. We're going to have these low-level thugs getting their 300-pound gang members, against challenge me, and I'm challenging the leaders, not a low-level thug. But I mean, throw me your ideas. If you are just a low-level thug, especially those of you on fake accounts. What better way to expose who you really are behind that account than to get you on video, in real life? So I'm challenging all the leaders of the alt-right. I can't think of one single one that I would be leaving out right now. Every single one. It's probably illegal for me to name this because Americans have this puss tactic of, boxing isn't about challenging people. And Kung Fu is, though. I mean, this is just everyday thing. Practical martial arts, Sergey, he just said what's up, and he challenges people. And so my teacher challenged people all the time as well. And I just figured, hey, I've been, my life's been guided. I've not been able to fight it. And all this stuff have oh yeah, but they don't have any real ability. You can be trained to fight, but it doesn't mean you can fight. You can go step in a ring, but it doesn't mean you can fight. I'd rather not. I'm not going to toot my own horn. Who knows? I have little experience, so come on. Wait, what's it? I'm elderly and freaking crippled. I've got no proven experience. No one. There's not one single video of me fighting anywhere. And usually the people involved in such fights are going to fabricate some sort of story. And so, put it out there. Challenge to Redice. All these people. It's fucking. I could start calling out people and you'd be like, oh, you're weak. You're calling out douchebags. You can't do anything. But it's you just proved it to me that they don't deserve to lead anything. They're just douchebags. What type of leaders does America have where they're all weak and they're spineless cowards? How does that work? How do you get a leader who's a coward and then someone comes along and blackmails them we're going to kill your children if you don't start coming along with our idea? And then Trump's yeah, okay, I don't want you to kill my children. It's if you would do that shit to me, I would break several bones in your body right then and there. And then I would drag you. If I'm a president and you try that shit to me, I would break bones in your body right there. And then I would drag you by your bald head or neck. I'm talking about, they won't debate me. I've been trying to get the media to cover me for 10 years. Please. I'm way more off the hook than these people. They won't touch me, man. I'd give them plenty of bait material to be look, it's the fucking psycho. He's saying all this psycho stuff. And they won't touch me, dude. They won't debate me. So at this point, I'm issuing a sparring match. That's what Kung Fu does. issue sparring matches to see who is the best. Yeah, yeah, money can work, man. But I'm just doing this to issue the challenge to see who is the superior fighter, the superior warrior, the superior leader. And it's just a kung fu thing. You always, they always challenge one another. Their schools, that's how they know who the better school is, whose school they want to go to. So yeah, yeah. I don't know where to begin with a lot of new people. I generally say like new people are going to get pretty lost if they come to my page because I'm talking about stuff like way down the line, way down the line. But I welcome you. I mean, if you're new, but I generally give people about 2 years. I'll watch them, and if within 2 years, if they don't stop worshiping the people they claim they're against, I know they're bad people, or they're just incapable. Like I wouldn't let incapable people into my inner circle. Period. It, it doesn't matter if I'm trying to lead a movement or if I'm just trying to educate people. It does. It just matters if I'm like wanting to hang out with you. You know, you want to sit beside me and play video games. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, in my real life, you don't get near me. You don't get near me if you know, you're like these other leaders act, like fishy and all that. Like my teacher who taught me kung fu actually was one. I mean, I was born a certain way, but he definitely taught me that for some of the same reason he calls out people in kung fu or other martial arts to pit versus kung fu. Uh, yeah, he taught me as well some of it wasn't called life kung fu for nothing. He taught me about life in general. And one of those things is noticing what people around you do, everything they do. And it's like, I kind of have no one I'm hanging out with right now because everyone in my life has started doing some shady shit at one point or another. And I left my teacher because he had a kid and I wanted him to raise his kid and not hang out with me. I wanted him to teach his child what he was teaching me. And so that was one reason, I guess. Plus, I move on all the time. But, like, no one really gets into my inner circle because, you know, I learned early on about trusting people. And you can't let stupid people in your inner circle because even if they're good people, they'll make mistakes that when you're involved in this stuff, are going to lead you to getting hauled away by the government. And when you let simple, basic thugs into your life, I mean, who would want that? You're not a respectable person, but they're going to do things like call to bomb civilian buildings. Although at that point in time, I suspect those are FBI agents. And I mean, there's all sorts of reasons. I mean, this video it wasn't supposed to be about, you know, analyzing people and selecting people carefully. So just issuing that, and you know, I fucking don't trust anyone hanging out with these people. So I'll put the issue out. They can prove their skills are superior to mine in battle. There's sparring, as it's called, because we're not allowed to have full-on battle. I couldn't recommend like, you know, weapons or dueling. You can't do that anymore. That's been outlawed because I think they're scared that that's actually like a really good way to weed out bad people is issue a duel challenge to them. I mean, that definitely shuts down GDL and Redice instantly. Like, if you duel them and they go to hell, that's the end of it. It's like, there is no more spreading their evil work across the land. Hey, thanks, Denise. Denise, you have no idea. I'm trying to not discuss my intelligence. I do part of the reason I pulled the video the other day, although there was more reason than that. And I'm welcome to anyone exposing me with more of those reasons, but yeah, Oh no, it's okay. I'm not really going into that. You can say I'm intelligent. I mean, that's fine. Most people have never said the opposite of that. That's one reason why I uploaded the live video of me practicing guitar and doing shitty, is because I need people to like criticize me and tell me I can't do something and stuff like that. It's like a skill I've never learned in the real world because I've never faced that in the real world. I've never been pulled aside by teachers and told you're stupid. It's quite the opposite. So, you know, like that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and uploaded a practice video where I'm like, not doing very well on the guitar and playing with setup. I can make all sorts of excuses to why the guitar is out of tune and or whatever. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks. I guess normally I don't take compliments too well, and I do what I just did and go past it and ignore it. But let's see what was said here. So, like I said, I'm issuing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. What I just said on your post, Plasma John Doe. I said, how can fake accounts who support white supremacist FBI agents and like Donald Trump, yeah, I'll leave that word out, stand against themselves. Race realism helps you understand they work together. Yeah, you didn't type the whole thing. Race realizes and helps you understand that the whites are working with the people they claim to be working against. And the empires they've led for 5,000 years, it it's proof that they continually work together, and then they continually scapegoat one another to play off against lesser intelligence people. Yeah, my response was that RTR. Oh yeah, Patrick Little. Like, there's so much on that. There's so much on Patrick Little that it's like right in front of your face. That you're busy looking for solid proof, but there's so much more. But my response on what was that RTR Plasma John Doe was like right away. Like, I listened to that dude a few times, and then he started linking you back in with the people like Red Ice. Like, Red Ice is behind Trump, and Red Ice is extremely mainstream. You can't make all those videos they've had uploaded over the years. If you were legit, you would be removed in like 3 videos. Like, now they have changed how they remove people. Like, they just hide my channel, and then they put that warning on all my videos, or on the videos that they don't want up. But for a minute there, they were just removing people real fast. Like, I just fucked around and made satire, like barely touching it, and that got removed real fast early on, so I didn't really even make videos. You get banned so fast from here, it's like shitty to have to keep making a bunch of YouTube accounts, even though I have a whole army of them. But I mean, I'm on so many other websites that I dealt with that. Like, you pretty much make one account, you get banned 5 minutes later. One account banned 5 minutes later. Twitter being the fastest place where you're liable to get banned in 30 seconds. Facebook, it takes about a day and a half for you to get notified, but once they're onto you, they continually stalk you and monitor you. So if you're like allowed on Facebook, you're not hurting them. So yeah, John Doe, that RTR, was that the name of it? They really suspect. They're telling you to like stand with Red Ice, and Red Ice is just like the neo-Nazis who are working with these people, and you can see that they're all working with the people they claim to be against. Like, David Duke was put in place and apprehended by the FBI in the 1960s, and he's been KKK Nazi ever since. But then when it comes down to it, he tells his leaders to go to Trump. And this is after he's been exposed. I have all the screenshots of telling David Duke, not like he doesn't know who Trump's family is and all that stuff, showing him solid proof of the media bragging about who they are. So Red Ice is just new and trendy. And who the hell is Red Ice? They're what, European? What does the alt-right have to do with Europe? The only thing America and the alt-right have to do with Europe is the fact that right now they're using the alt-right to take over France. and that's the only real link. And as you can see in my videos the past few years, or if you could see all the other places I posted, which most of those posts are gone, and they're about to remove the one website which allowed some of the posts to stay up. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, 1400 dimension chess, that's about it. Once you smell something bad from these people, they're your leaders, they're not idiots, right? And if your leaders are idiots, you need to reevaluate who you're following. Oh, no doubt, dude. If you look, I looked at a few pictures of the yellow vest, and they didn't look like French. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know what a French person looks like. They have dark skin and dark hair and dark eyes. Really, the French? Maybe the French look like Italians, but I didn't think they looked like that. Now I do know there's this place called Khazaria. I'm sorry, they call it Ukraine today. In fact, it's more than Ukraine. It's about 4 countries there, you know. And if that area who would produce people who look like this, but I didn't think that'd be French people in the yellow vest. But the yellow vest, I mean, you got Chris Dorsey, everyone in America calling to back it, all their leaders, all the American media, the liberals, the Republicans calling to back it. Of course it's them. Yes, it's the Uden, of course. Yeah, of course it is, because they're not going to televise a real revolution. They didn't televise when they rounded up the 2 alt-right Clark brothers. No one talked about that. No one cared about their brothers in arms being removed, probably because they were legit people who just were, didn't know what they were getting into. They didn't talk about that. But no, now they're talking about the Po' Boys, because Gavin McInnes and Alex Jones are legit. And it's not like the alt-right didn't expose them 6 years ago, and then 2 years after that went back to worshiping him after fully, completely exposing him. And so the poor boys are important, not the alt-right Clark brothers, not Jeffrey and Edward Clark, one of who suicided day or two before the FBI arrested the other one on trumped up charges for being addicted to marijuana sticks. And I mean, that's not even legit. And they went straight into, like, a week later, like, all the media went into, like, claiming that poor boys or whatever it is were being rounded up and attacked. And now Redice is being attacked, and they do this. Redice ain't being attacked. They've got so many videos. They've got so many high-class videos. I make videos. I messed with making media for like 20, 30, not 30, but 20, 25 years. And it's really simple at first, like to have really low quality recordings and no editing. But the second you begin to editing, you start having videos that take 4 hours to produce. And this is beginning. When you get to Redice quality, you're dealing with hiring a team of people to edit your videos and put it together. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. And you just look at Handsome Truth and you can see him. But the thing is that the GDL is dead in the water once Adam Green says he created the GDL, because he didn't create the GDL. All right, yeah. Maybe I will. Maybe I wonder if I can take a screenshot of that while this is going on. Okay. So yeah, the GDL was dead in the water once Adam Green claimed he created it. I had totally forgot. I was like, looking at Adam Green, you're like, yeah, this is an Israeli. You don't look at Adam Green and think, hey, this is a Swedish person. Just because he has blonde hair, you don't think that at all. And I can tell you, he looks exactly like one of them I know in America, who also looks like another one of them I know in America. And at the same time, all 3 of them Adam Green looked like Trump in the bathrobe. Look up the old picture of Trump when he was younger in the bathrobe. And that right there is what your blonde ones look like. And I'm not sure why they keep that similar look. I believe they can change their looks. I mean, I can change my looks without using magic, really. I can, all sorts of shit. If you've seen my pictures on any of my websites, like, I can look like a different person all the time, and I do. Like one of my videos, I have like my hair pulled back and I'm wearing glasses. I don't look like the other person. Usually I don't have the beard. But it's winter. I bring it back right now. Hell yeah, he looks like Shlomo Gordon. That's what I'm saying. And he looks like Trump in the bathrobe when he's younger. But he looks like two others I know who I don't have like solid proof they're those people, but it's obvious because they live on that side of town. And when you say it, they're like, what? They own the media. You know how it is when you talk about them near them. Okay. Okay, so no, he doesn't. He looks exactly like people I know. I could show you pics of people I know who are from New York, the motherland, bigger than Israel. He doesn't look like them. And he looks like one I know who lives on their side of town, where the oligarchs who run this city live, who are hanging out with Epstein. That's where he comes from. And hey, Illuminati Socrates, answer this. Which GDL are you talking about? Are you talking about the GDL created 4 to 6 years ago? Or are you talking about Adam's Green GDL created about 8 months ago? Which GDL are you talking about? Oh yeah, look at Ivanka pre-plastic surgery. She's had about $150,000 in plastic surgery to look like what she did 5 years ago. But see, the thing is with God's creation, He's made it so even when you do the plastic surgery, if you don't keep having the surgery, your natural facial structures, your face like melts back into that situation. So, so you can see nowadays she looks more like her old self than she did 5 years ago. Okay, handsome true to the Adam Green claims he invented that. See, there's two GDLs. See, that's where the first lie comes from. Illuminati Socrates is Adam Green didn't invent the GDL. It was a movement. It was a group on Google Plus, which is going to be removed soon because it was the only place you're allowed to talk. And people I followed, Cal Budd and all this stuff. I shouldn't even call out names because I don't trust anybody on that non. And right now, GDL2 is backing, GDL1 is backing GDL2, even though right when it came out, I started showing them that, hey, this guy's claiming he invented this, and he didn't invent it, and they knew it. Like if they didn't ban me from the GDL1 for fucking exposing them and calling them idiots when they started teaming up with GDL2, then they, at first, for the first then I probably screenshotted and saved it because I save everything because I understand what I'm walking into. The people who invented GDL1 agreed with all my posts that Adam Green did not invent the GDL, and he's just taking the name. And they also agreed that he looks like them and that his methods are poor, but also the GDL's methods are extremely poor because they're attacking people, just like the alt-right neo-Nazis did to Taylor Swift. They went after Brett Favre, they went after Debo, they went after Andy Milonakis, they went after Riff Raff, whoever he is, and I assume they went after some other people. There's no point to keep going into it because these are bully tactics, these are deceptive tactics. I don't need to tell you, hey, fucking Tom Cruise is on my side, like Tom Cruise goes Hail Hitler, and he probably is. That helps them to involve their own people into the psyop. But GD Riff Raff's never going to face any throwback. But He's never going to experience any kickback, any sort of repercussions for saying what he did. But Brett Favre will. Brett Favre is obviously like Irish. And so what's happening is Taylor Swift now, you can see my video on Taylor Swift is edited. I made this years before they started exposing, dragging Taylor Swift down, because I knew it was shady and they were trying to attack her by saying she's a neo-Nazi. And instead, what happens is she loses her fame, she loses her money. One of the only white women left in Hollywood, and definitely the most beautiful. I mean, the idea of a perfection, Aryan, blonde goddess, that's Taylor Swift. So it was really obvious right away they're trying to defame her, but now she kowtows to them, and all her media is about their agenda, and she can't do anything else anymore. She has to spend all her time proving she's not a Nazi, because these neo-Nazis at Daily Stormer, who are the real alt-right, the real original alt-right, they, the original Trumpers, they defamed her and basically attacked her by making it look like she's their hero. And then, so that they've done that with Brett Favre, and that the only reason that got any media press is because I contacted Brett Favre, Riff Raff, Debo. Did I contact Debo? Who is the third person right away? Okay. I contacted them, and then I contacted at least one of all the major media outlets, and then I contacted the FBI, and and then I told them all what was happening, because I wanted Brett Favre to, yeah, Soldier Boy. Was that who that black guy was? See, I didn't even know. But I contacted them all, and I told them, I said, hey, you guys just got to set the fuck up. What's going to happen is they're going to really destroy you if you don't instantly put out damage control. So whoever did it first, I told them to call me so I could explain to them, but no one ever calls me for some reason. No one ever talks to me. These people who run all this media, they don't ever want to talk to me, even though I'm the one fucking telling them what's happening, what's going on. They never wanted to call me. That's odd. I gave Taylor Swift my information too, because she wanted to know who started making up her Nazi accusations, and I know that. I have all the proof. I made the video of it. I have more proof than I have in the video. You can still go to the website and it's still there. And so they end up suing other people instead of Andrew Anglin, who's still in court, or wanted in court supposedly. He's probably living on Epstein's Island, probably where the GDL will get to go live, in one of Epstein's rooms. So this is malicious, how they're attacking Taylor Swift, how they're attacking Brett Favre. I'm the one who got that media attention. But if you notice the media attention, at least the very first waves that they advertised, there was no one going to that media, kind of like your staged media reports from nobody media. And there was lots of commenters, and every single commenter was part of the FBI GDL comment army. There wasn't any real commenters other than that, and all the view counts below 1,000 or below could easily be, the FBI army. So they're not good people. They're attacking those people. The whole point of that, and I'm the reason why Brett Favre isn't going to be raked through the coals, but it's liable. They're still going to rake him through the coals for being associated with these groups. Just for being tricked and manipulated by the GDL. Okay, let's go back. I asked, Illuminati says somebody from the original GDL probably attempted to reboot it. The neo-Nazi feds are trying to hijack it. Yeah. I had suspected the original GDL to begin with, because because they're anon accounts. You don't trust anon accounts. It's either kids, people are new, or people who know they aren't leaders of groups, and So it seemed fishy. People won't put their name on stuff. And one of the GDL, original GDL, did come out with it with a face that looks like him and his kids, and he looks exactly like one of them, even though he still acts like he's not. Yeah, I seen where Adam Green and Handsome Truth got doxxed. I accidentally said something about that, but we probably shouldn't do that because that's illegal to dox people. Yeah, this guy with the fake account, fake name says, I look like the guy smoking crack in the 7-Eleven parking lot. Okay, so that's cool. I mean, but what do you look like? You're hiding behind a fake account, so how do we know you're not the guy in the 7-Eleven parking lot smoking crack trying to place blame on everyone else? Yeah, yeah, fucking, I saved that. I'll probably watch that video later about that you referenced plasma. So, I mean, I wanted to make this really short. I knew I couldn't do that if it went live. But my food was probably done 30 minutes ago. My actual food, not related to anything in the comments. Pizza as usual. So I was gonna get back on with some music, but right now I am going to eat a little something, get some breakfast in. It's only 2 p.m. So I've been up since like, 9 or before. I gotta stop skipping meals and shit because I lost some weight from that. Uh, I don't know, man. You're behind a fake account. If you found a Freemasons lodge, what should you do to it? You should stop living in it, man. Stop running it. How about that? I found a Freemason lodge once. I worked in it. I rebuilt it. How about that? How do you like that? The Jews raised me. I'm raised by Jews. All over the board, I can point to where Jews were like 50% of the people in my life, even raising me in some situation. I've rebuilt like one of the largest Freemasonry lodges I've ever seen. I don't know if I've ever seen one bigger than this huge building. I helped rebuild it. I mean, like I said, my family's worked for, we've always worked for the oligarchs. My dad doesn't, he's no chump. The person I'm told is my dad is no chump, and he's always working for the elites. Yeah, yeah. I'm so woke I can't even sleep anymore. I never could sleep, right, on a real level. But I've done all this. I've been involved in so much of this stuff that would instantly discredit someone else if they weren't openly telling you about what's going on, and Redice and stuff isn't openly telling you about what's going on. They're not telling you who's funding them. They're not telling you who Donald Trump is. They're telling you to back him. They're working with the GDL. They're everyone. It's like an inner circle. The neo-Nazis, all right, are like an inner circle of like 40 people, 40 leaders, and they all link back to one another. And the GDL, it claims, at first Adam Green was a Trumper, and then they claim to be against that, and then they're right back in with the alt-right. Right back in, right after they just brainwash people that they're exposed to it. Just like Patrick Little, he's against the alt-right, but all he does is hang out with the alt-right. And I called him, and I was like, oh, now I'm 666 levels of woke, way past 33. So I called Patrick Little, and I wanted to do an interview with him on here, right? Hell yeah. And he didn't want to interview me. I'm nobody, right? I tried to tell him. I'm like, hey, I'm like one of the first people who were talking about the alt-right and Trump and their bloodlines and being the liars. And that's what he like started on was he's like, helping all, he's against the alt-right, but all Patrick Little did was go straight back to the alt-right. That's all he talks about. He only talks with the alt-right, and then he starts talking with the GDL, who claim to be anti-alt-right, and now the GDL is working with the Redice alt-right. Um, I so Oh my God, you can do the gang sign? I didn't even know you can do that. That's programmed into your Israeli Google phone, ain't it? That's how you do it. That's one of the gang signs, man. That inverted the other way. That's probably one of the gang signs too. Who knows? But so yeah, Patrick Little's he wouldn't talk with me, so it's just like I went on. I just started fucking with him after that. Like, fuck him, dude. Like, he doesn't have to talk with me, but that's fine. He can keep talking with all right. That makes him look more guilty. I've only had one of these people in these groups claim to want to talk to me. Chris Dorsey the other day, he just started attacking me. He's like, get on the line. And it's like I called the line, and like he's not even on. Like the registered line's not even on. And so I'm telling him that. I'm like, you got to get it on. And he's like, nah, 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 nah. He's too scared to call and all this shit, basically. And then he starts talking to idiots, talking about gay frogs. It's like, okay, dude. And he was talking to the gay frog dude like legit. You know how Chris Dorsey attacks everyone. He didn't even attack the gay frog dude. It's just like, really? He was just like, what are you talking about, gay frogs? I've never heard Chris Dorsey be more calm and more interested than the guy talking about, do you really think the frogs are gay? And he's like, what do you mean the frogs are gay? And like right after he's talking about me, and it's because I attacked his buddy King James for approving Zionist words. Yeah, dealing with the Jewish problem is definitely a pressure cooker in some ways, right? Pressure cooker has a lot more uses than that problem. I shouldn't have just said those words. Wow. That's not good. Yeah. I gotta make sure I don't, like, really repeat. Yeah, I just said a lot of words that are wrong, didn't I? And it's not that any gay people hate me. It's that I'm repeating what Alex Jones says, and those other people on my page who hate me are going to report me for saying that. The people on my page who hate gay people are going to report me for saying the word gay, because they're just going to report me for whatever they can. Yeah, frogs probably are, but they taste good. Frog legs taste good though. Tastes like chicken. So I'm going to end this, go get a couple bites to eat, and then I'll probably try to play some guitar or something. I've got, I suck at playing other people's stuff. I should not do that. I should just play my own stuff. But I'm going to turn this off. Thank you guys for showing up. Remember, tell Redice and all that Dunkel height is actually really complex. I would have to know Varg's playing style, and I haven't played enough of his stuff to play that. It's probably easier to play a couple of his other songs, but Dunkel height is a lot of finger picking, and you have to learn he changes a lot. Unlike most simple stuff like AC/DC, he changes like every bar. He's changing what he's doing, so you really have to like. Basically, I would have to learn what hand position he's doing. If I knew what hand position he's doing, then I could probably play it a lot easier. Because all players are generally just playing with a secret, one skill that they've become really good at, and once you learn that one skill, you can play a lot of their stuff. But yeah, Dunkel height is one I have tried to play a couple times. It's just one of the more complex ones, and then it being so long as well, it's also it's harder to learn the whole thing because he makes so many changes for such a long period of time. Although I do love that song. I mean, that's like really the only Burzum song I can recall by name. So I like it. It's just, yeah, I know it's on there, and there's a possibility it's not tuned to E. And while I have 4 other guitars, and my E guitar, my E standard guitar is the best. It's like set up when it's set up properly, because right now it's not. It's set up to be able to play the best, so I can play all the E stuff. But all the E stuff is mostly the trendy mainstream stuff from the 90s and before. And then anything European or anything after like 98 started using the different tunings. Yeah. So drop D, I think my Warlock's tuned to drop D, and right now I've got my Warlock uh, taken apart and prepped so I can glue one of the frets back down, because someone threw my Warlock about 15 years ago, and I can't play anything on it that involves the last, the smallest, the first, depending on how you word it. It can be confusing. It's technically the bottom string, but it's called the first. So the highest pitch E string, if I have to bend that, it gets caught on the fret. So right now that's actually a part, and I've got to glue it at some point in time. Right now I've just been working on my guitars a lot, so I'll be making errors just because. Although this one is actually tuned better than it's ever have been. I can probably tune it a little bit better, but everything else right now I'm still working on, and the Warlock's just taken apart. And every time you retune, first of all, certain guitars can't be retuned very well, and generally you have to re-intonate, and that might mean a whole lot of adjustments every time you do that. But I was actually, I forget what I just tuned this to D drop C. I might be able to tune that to D, but there's a lot of D I want to do. That's why the Warlock was tuned to drop D, because it is kind of like the second most common after everyone stopped using the E basic tuning, the E standard. They all the bands. I mean, that's why that phrase is so popular, drop D tuning, because everyone switched to it. But there's just so many other tunings. There's E bemol. I'm saying that wrong. E flat, bemole, and there's D standard. There's D drop C. There's D drop. There's C sharp standard. There's so many. I've got I got a whole bunch of songs I'm gonna play that are just considered unknown tuning, because 1 or 2 strings are tuned out of any sort of standard tuning. So the Warlock, the glue would set pretty fast if I did it, but I don't really want to work on it right now. Who knows? I mean, maybe I can just probably go in there in 30 minutes, have the glue set up, in a couple of hours it'll be done. I mean, technically, if I speed up the glue, it'd probably be done in like 15 minutes. But glue never works for me, so I always let glue sit 24 to 48 hours. But it still never really works. No sort of adhesive works very good. So, yeah, I'll get around to trying to play it, but that is one of the harder songs, and I mean it's definitely not going to be 100% complete, because I've only played it like twice before, and it is very complex with a lot of changes, and it's just so much that finger picking and going across the whole thing is so much different. Yeah, it's a sweet song. I like it and all that. It's definitely a sweet song. And unfortunately, a lot of the full videos I put out are stuff I don't really listen to anymore. It's just like simple. Unfortunately, a lot of the videos I put out are not necessarily like what I listen to anymore. Like I only listen to like brand new stuff that just came out for the most part. So it's been a while since I listened to Burzum Dunkelheit, just to listen to it, over and over at least. So a lot of the stuff I put out has just been simple stuff like I would learn early because it's simple, it's easy to do, it's easy for me to 100% on it. I'm always changing music, and it got like after Megadeth fell off, I I started changing bands all the time. Although I think I was already changing bands all the time, I just listened to Megadeth mostly all the time. But now it's like if I look at my MP3 player, that needs charged. If I look at my MP3 player, it's probably a bunch of. It's always new stuff to me, whether it's like new stuff to everyone though. That could be different. Like what I have right now. Okay, so I do have Summer's Range Sabotage. That's older, and Symbol of Salvation Armored Saint. For some reason, this is not. This is like sorting it differently because I'm like going back to like learning how to play that stuff, but I really haven't listened to it. But other than that, I have like Frost, Emergent, Sly, Mago, Gunnar, Antlers, Beneath, Below, Behold, Black Veils of Justice, Oblivion, Alda full album, Eshkahata, Katamenia, Desire for Sorrow, at Dawn of, Imperium, Infernalis, Teatimas, Cosmic Church. I mean, see, I don't even know how to replace that. But then I have, after that, I have Black Number One Type of Negative, simply because I was going to buy bass, and I've always known how to play that. And then I have like Violent Tupac, which I brought that back for drumming because it's simple, and I like drumming rap and hip hop, not so much hip hop. Uh, and then also that I use that as an intro to one of my videos, which I don't think I released that full video because it was like, I mean, these people are gonna kill me. Fucking, I should probably delete most of the stuff I have on here that I've never released, rather than just let it sit there. And then I've got like Gods and Government by Snog, because I added a bunch of old Snog, really good techno. But the thing is, that Snog is like one of the first bands that got me before I knew any of this shit. Snog was talking to me through the lyrics, you know, Naive Giant, Empires, Gods and Government, like those songs are about Illuminati and shit. But I was listening to that back in like '94 and stuff before I knew anything they were talking about. And I got like Leader of the Titans, Morses Principum. That's because I started trying to learn to play that, because to me that's a new band. So yeah, a lot of this stuff is either old stuff I've just rethought of and added, but mostly the stuff I'm listening to is like newer stuff that I you know, just learned, because that's like actually what I listen to. SOAD, what does that mean? System of a Down, that is. Yeah, I haven't listened to them since like '96, except for the fact I've got a couple of their songs on Rocksmith, and like Aerials, and that's not E-tuning. I'm not sure what that is. It's possible that's drop D. Yeah. No, I didn't say System of a Down, but yeah, I have listened to them like when they came out, or when they got big at least, and then recently I've added them, and I believe they're probably drop D as well. Most of the known newer bands are drop D. After '98, that became like the American Hollywood thing, and plus it's easy to play drop D as a comparison to these other ones, because when you change your tuning, it gets harder to play the strings, because the strings become so loose. You have to change your action and shit. What is Holy Mountains? That doesn't sound familiar. But yeah, technically most of the shit I would want to play is just like stuff I can't play, mostly because it wasn't E. And like over the years, like back in '94, there was no Burzum tablature. Yeah, Tool. I pretty much hate Tool except for Sober. I really love that song Sober, but other than playing it, which I have done quite a bit, I haven't listened to Tool since like '95. But I really think they only made one good song. And there might have been, I think there's another song I liked on that album that like the radio picked up a few years later. I can't remember the name of. For some reason, a lot of the really good songs are always erased and swept under the rug. Like Soundgarden, "Day I Tried to Live" was not the album they pushed, and then not the song they pushed, and then Black Hole Sun didn't get big until like, was it Black Hole Sun? I shouldn't talk about it. I forget all the songs on that, but I just know like when they push these bands, a lot of times they don't push like the good song. They'll push like the radio play song. And then so I turned off radio in '95, stopped listening to the radio. So that's all I got right now. A lot of the, I'm gonna finish that statement. Yeah, it really, I can't, like, hell, fuck. I think most of the music I listen to, all metal, is like satanic or whatever, but it's just another side to the other coin. Like, it's the controlled opposition. I mean, both the Bibles are written by the same peoples, and then all the books of religions are like the same things. The same stories. And so a lot of people say, hey, Christianity just ripped off this other stuff. And it's like, well, no, the stories in the world, the stories in this world are all so limited and so linked together that I believe they were all created about the same time and just disseminated as being created at a different stage. So when you get into metal, you can't really avoid any sort of satanic type shit. You have Striper, which is Christian metal, and that's like about it, right? There's not many other bands who are openly like that. And you can tell with like some of the newer metal bands, they're like trying to shy away from that satanic imagery, because you have this, which means Up the Irons from Iron Maiden. And I believe Bruce Dickinson, he's probably a Jew, and he's probably mostly Christianish. He makes songs, Judas Be My Guide, and then even without Bruce Dickinson, they made like The Sign of the Cross. And then so everyone turned that into devil horns, even though that really means that's like praise of one band. So some of the newer ones, some of the newer bands are like trying to get away from doing that. Although technically that doesn't mean that. They're definitely, some are trying to get away from it. But a lot of them are into it. I don't really think that means any difference. I mean, I'm not seeing Satanists out here destroying everything and conquer Syria and Palestine. These are not Satanists claiming that Israel is the capital of the world and, all that shit. It's like they scapegoat the Satanist. They use that word like they use Illuminati and Zionist and Freemason and this and that. I mean, the list goes on and on. Nazi and basically they're desert worshipers, all of them. And even the Satanists, Anton LaVey was running guns for Israel. So, I mean, you can't get any more obvious than that. He wasn't just one of them. He was running guns, taking guns they had killed the Germans and confiscated guns from, and then sending them to Israel. So, I mean, it's just the same people with the new face on it. And Like you'll probably have a better time educating Satanists than you will Christians, because the Christians are like, I mean, according to their story, thousands of years deep in the brainwashing. And the Satanists, they don't care about brainwashing. They don't even care about Satanism. They don't believe in that. They don't, but they still follow. It's the same thing. It's the same network of people running the show. Even not Anton LaVey, the creator of the creator of the Satanic Temple, writer of the Satanic Bible. There's the other Satanic Temple is half ran by one of them, so it's like pretty obvious. Well, I mean, like, I think they're all actually that way. I can't repeat that word. Yeah, yeah, it does seem to be that way. That I mean, but Jehovah is Satan, because they're all the same thing. And then you get pagans arguing who is, pagans don't argue anything. Their one true God is the Marvel comic book. Who the hell writes Marvel comic books? Who made the movie Thor? Who who wrote the comic book about Thor? It wasn't pagans. It wasn't Europeans. They didn't write the comic book about Thor. And I mean they can't prove anything except for, you can't prove anything about paganism except for that. And we can prove that Abrahamic religionists write the Marvel comic book on Thor, the son of Zeus, and they write the Marvel comic book on, I mean, they made the Marvel movie Thor, the son of Zeus. So to me, that's the only proof there is there of that. So it all seems to be the same people. I need to eat, and I need to save my voice too. I got to start trying to fucking be in less pain. So I'm gonna eat and stop this, and I was gonna play, but now this is like an hour later. I'm not sure, but I'll see you guys later.